I was very excited that I could be a part of this call and very fortunate to have such a great presenter this evening. So I couldn't be more excited for all of us to connect with this incredible presenter. And he's highly successful. He's a Pro 8 consultant. Brian and Holly Highfield found massive success in LifeVantage, and they're producing more than 50 million in sales volume. That's just an incredible amount of money. And these two individuals had never had any experience in network marketing before. They just duplicated, they copied something. They both had worked in corporate America. Brian was an IT engineer and Holly was in banking. At the same time, they were working a sports business nights and weekends. So they were extremely busy, no extra time. A lot of us don't need another minute. We could think about doing something else. But when you want something really bad, you figure it out. They had had 20 plus years on the corporate treadmill. They were tired, exhausted. They felt very underappreciated, like most of us would. They recognized this amazing opportunity and count their blessings daily for options that they now have that are very different. Holly and Brian have a 5-year-old son named Austin, and they are very blessed to be present parents today. So they live life on their terms, and they get to teach others to do the same, and that's what we're doing tonight. So we're fortunate to have Brian here to teach us how he created a business volume of over $200,000 every single month. And what we need to do is just duplicate his behavior. So thank you so much for being here, Brian. I'm excited to welcome you to the call, and I'm going to hand this over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Debbie.
You're welcome.
It's great. And you got a wonderful story there. And I love how you touch on the community that we have here at LifeVantage, because it's very different than what I've seen anywhere else. And we're all so positive and supportive people. And I got to say, just looking at the people on this call, we seem to attract the most attractive people, I think, to LifeVantage, or maybe they're just got that way from our products. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of beautiful people on this call that I see on the screen here, and that's just awesome. So thanks so much for that introduction. We live in Florida, so we're actually just a couple hours south of where Debbie lives in Ocala. We're in Sarasota, Florida. We moved here about 5-6 years ago. We lived in Ohio for about 25 years. And we got tired of winter there. It gets pretty cold, especially this time of year. I think I looked at my phone. It was like 20 degrees in Ohio today. It was a little chilly in Florida today, but it's supposed to be up to 80 this weekend. So we're looking forward to a visit to the beach on Sunday. But we got tired of winter, and LifeVantage gave us options. And Debbie kind of touched on it. We were busy people. I was working full time, and so was Holly. And that's all we knew was kind of the corporate treadmill. And that's what we hear growing up, right? It's like, you got to go to school, get good grades, get a good job, and then hopefully you can have a career that spans 40, 50 years, and then hopefully retire someday. This is the story that we hear over and over again. But what they don't tell you is that's a broken system. It doesn't work that way. Company loyalty is out the window. It is dead like the dinosaurs. And excuse me, and we're seeing that now with a lot of layoffs. There's talk of a recession. And we haven't seen something like that in over 12 years. And in America anyway. And so people right now are looking for something new, especially going through the pandemic that we went through. People got used to working from home. People got used to spending time with family and not being stuck in traffic, not being stuck in a cubicle next to someone who's eating fish for lunch every day. That doesn't smell good, right? So we got used to this lifestyle now of being home, and people are looking for something to give them that rather than going back into the office. And so, like I said, we were busy people working in corporate America. I also coach volleyball. I coached high school volleyball, and I also coached USA Olympic volleyball for girls. And I loved it. I played volleyball in college. I love coaching. And that's actually what led me to LifeVantage. LifeVantage found me. And then, like many of you, we weren't out there looking for it necessarily, or we're looking for something we didn't know what. we were happy where we're at. And so one of my fellow coaches said, you got to check out this ABC video. And he texted me the link and I watched it. And then I was so intrigued, I watched it again. And I thought, all right, I definitely want this product inside my body. And he said, well, this company is getting started. There's a business opportunity. And I said, stop right there. I said, I don't have time for another project. I don't even, really want to know about it. And he didn't give up on me. And so he kept following up. I think he had a follow up with me probably 5 or 6 times. So they always say the fortune's in the follow up. He called me 5 or 6 times. And I was on the fence every time. And I remember it like it was yesterday. He called me like that 6th time. And he said, this was his close. He said, are you going to do this or not? And I said, well, and I remember thinking about it. And what made me said yes, was the fear of missing out. FOMO, we call it, the fear of missing out. I thought about it and I said, this could be a big deal. It could really be a big deal. And if I say no, then I'm going to miss out. And boy, was I right. Am I so glad that I said yes? In that moment, without knowing how to do this business, I didn't even know how we got paid. I didn't know anything about compensation. I knew a little bit about the product. Impressed me. And I just said, this can be a big deal. I think Protandim is going to be a household name. I think LifeVantage is going to be a household name. And I'm a math guy, engineer. We take a lot of math, right, in school. And I said, you know what? If we can just get this one product, and it was $40 at the time, right? If we can get this little product, it's now $52, but we can get this one product, and if we can just get it into 1% of the households in just the US, forget all the other products, forget all the other countries, just this one product in the US, 1% of the households, $2 billion with a B, $2 billion. One product, 1%, one country. So now do the math, add in all the other products. We're in 20 some countries now. Can you see where this company is headed? This is going to be a multi-billion-dollar company someday. It truly is. And I had this conversation with Steve Fife, I think last year, and he said, Brian, I did the same math. In my head. I see it. And so we share the same vision of where this is going. And so I did that math in my head, and I got excited about the opportunity, having no experience. And boy, did I do everything wrong in the beginning. I did everything wrong. I sent out a mass email to everybody I know. I said, you got to take a look at this. Does that work? No. 4 people. I think I sent it to 4,000 people that I had in my email data bank. 4 of them wanted more information. So that didn't work. So I tried everything that didn't work in the beginning. And then I decided, you know what? I need to go to an event and figure out how to do this, do this business. And so I went to my first event a year after joining the business. And I wonder where I would be today if I actually had gone to an event after I first joined. My business would be so far ahead of where it is now. I lost an entire year of not going to an event to do this. But the product, like most of you, and you can put in the chat, what attracted you to LifeVantage? Was it the product or the business? And there's no wrong answer here. It's different for everybody. But I want to guess that most people chose product, that they saw the ABC video or they saw a video, they saw some information, and they thought, this is different. This is unique. This is special. And that's what I saw. I didn't see anything like it. And I wasn't a supplement guy. I never took supplements other than maybe a vitamin here and there. I was surrounded by medical professionals who said, you don't need to take supplements. You just need to eat a little bit more healthy. You'll get all the vitamins and minerals you need in your food. Now, they didn't know about this. They didn't know that this is an exception to the rule, that you can't replicate what this does just by eating healthy. You can't replicate what this does by exercising. All the good things that doctors tell you to do, you can't replicate what this does. And I saw that, and I was blown away by the research. Debbie talked a little bit about the research. I was blown away by the research. I had never seen, you know what impressed me the most? I had never seen a name brand supplement get millions of dollars of independent funding to be studied at major universities, and then take those studies and publish them in different scientific and medical journals. Unheard of. Unheard of. To this day, unheard of. And that impressed me as a scientist, engineer. I said, that makes us really, really special right off the bat. One other company, and it's funny because I'll in my 10, 11 years, it's coming up at 11 years, believe it or not, with LifeVantage now. In my 11 years, occasionally I'll run into someone who, wants to talk about other products, and they say, oh, our company has something like that. And I'm like, no, you don't. I'm sorry, you don't. If you did, you'd have over 24 independent peer-reviewed studies on your product that have appeared in medical and scientific journals. You'd have an ABC News special on your product that has appeared in national news. Your products would have appeared in different publications and been on the Today Show twice and have been on different shows. I said, so if you did, you would have all that, but you don't have all that because you don't have what we have. And so it's a pretty easy conversation, and the conversation is a lot nicer than that. But I'm just telling you that this is very, very unique. And I geeked out on the science, guys, and this actually held me back a little bit because I got into the weeds. I got into the details about how this worked with people, and most people, 80% of us, that went over their head. They just didn't appreciate because they didn't understand really the science. We got to keep that in mind as we talk about these products, is to keep it simple for people. And just recently, I talked to Tyler Daniels, Master Pro 10, and I've never heard him explain Nerf2 activation to anybody. And here, he's at the top of our company. And the way he explains Protanum, I think, is a good way to explain it. And I started explaining it more in my meetings. And I explain it two ways. I say, all right, here's layman's terms, very simple analogy. And I use Tyler's story about how he was told about Protanum. And he talked to Dr. McCord, who's the inventor of Protanum, and he asked Dr. McCord, I didn't understand what you said on stage. Tell me how this works in very, very simple terms. And Dr. McCord said, all right, well, when you're young, your body makes a lot of stuff. And that stuff keeps you healthy. That stuff cleans up your cells. It gives energy to your cells. It protects your cells. It helps your cells function. But as you get older, think of it like a faucet. All that stuff's coming out of a faucet. And as you get older, that faucet starts to turn off and less stuff is coming out of the faucet. And guess what happens when that faucet finally shuts off? You die. You die. So what Protanum does is it turns that faucet back on. So I've been using that analogy for people that just understand in layman's terms exactly what Protanum does. It harnesses what your body already knows how to do. It gets your body to do what it did when it was a kid. Okay? Think of how much energy we had as a kid. Think of how well we bounced back from things. If we got hurt or got sick, we recovered very quickly, right? Who doesn't want to feel like that again? And that's one of the things that Protanum gives us is it produces that stuff like we did when we were a kid. Now, I do a lot of meetings with doctors and healthcare professionals, and that's not going to fly with them if I just say stuff, right? They're like, all right, what stuff are we talking about? I'm like, well, we're talking about good enzymes. We're talking about things that detoxify our cells. And we've all heard the phrases, and I try not to get too scientific with people, right? But we've heard of the superoxide dismutase, the glutathione, the catalase. But when you're talking to healthcare professionals, that's what they want to know. It's like, all right, how does this work? And the whole idea that I get across to them, because they understand medicine and they think they understand supplements, all right? Some of them do. But this is a completely different category when we talk about activation inside of our body. So I talk about activation versus supplementation. I said supplementation is something, you take something you're deficient in. Let's say you're deficient in vitamin D. I'm going to take a vitamin D supplement to supplement that in my body and replenish that. But activation is quite different. We can target specific pathways in our body that can control different sets of genes that are responsible for our health. So we've got the NRF2 pathway, the NRF1 pathway, we've got the NAD pathway with our 3 Protandim products. So we can target those specific genes. And it's amazing because we have the power to turn on those genes again, those genes that slowly go dormant, that faucet's shutting, that dimmer switch is turning down. And here we've got the power with these products to turn the dimmer switch back up, to turn the faucet back on, and start producing all those good things that are responsible for keeping us healthy. That's essentially what our products do. And there's nothing else there like it. These are activators, not supplements, okay? And that's what I get across to healthcare professionals and people that want to know a little more detail. Anybody wants to know more detail on that? I send them to PubMed. I'm like, go to PubMed, type in Protandim, and just you can read till your heart's content on all the good things that are said in all those different studies out there. So so don't try to be a scientist. You don't have to be. Again, 80% of the people, it's going to go over their head. They're not going to appreciate. So use Tyler's story. Use that. It's your body produces stuff. When you're a kid, it quits producing your stuff as you get older. It's a faucet. It's slowly turning on. We're turning off. We're just turning that faucet back on. So let's simplify a very complicated product, right? Because think about it. When this sat on a shelf in GNC way back when the company first started, this doesn't say anything, okay? It doesn't say anything. You can't explain what it does on the label. What we're doing is we're giving this product a voice. And what happened when we started to give this product a voice? Our sales went from 3 million a year to over 200 million a year in just 4 years' time. Huge jump. So this is definitely the right model. You're in the right place, and we haven't even gotten started yet. It still amazes me that we only have about 60,000 distributors in the entire world. 60,000. That sounds like a big number, but it's not. Not with 8 billion people in the world. We're going to have 60,000 people, I think, in the state of Florida alone someday. In fact, I think it's going to be more than that. And that's how many we have in the entire world right now. So it's still a secret. And so we've got to give this product a voice so that's not a secret anymore. But the story gets better, right? That's where we started with Protandim. But now we've got another hero product with our liquid collagen activator. And I heard a lot about collagen before, and I heard that it's good for you, right? But I didn't know much about it. And here it's critical for our health. Collagen is it's the framework of everything that bends in our body. Think about everything that bends. Our skin bends, our bones, our joints, our arteries, basically every part of our body bends. Well, collagen is what forms that framework inside of our body. And as we get older, we produce less and less of it. And so here again, we have a pathway, we have an activator. So yes, we replenish it. Okay, so it's a 3-pronged approach, and I love this. This really sets us apart from all the other collagens out there. Is we not only replenish, and I'm going to come back to replenish in a little bit, but we activate. We actually use a hero ingredient, the red quinoa extract, that tells our body to produce more of its own collagen. That's amazing, and we've got all the science to prove it. We've got all the scientific slides and studies to show that it produces more collagen inside the body. And then we have these fruit berry extracts that help us maintain the collagen that we do have. And then we also replenish it. But we not only replenish it, we replenish it in a very spectacular way. We use hydrolyzed fish collagen. And hydrolyzed is a fancy word that we already have broken down those proteins down to the collagen peptides. We've already broken them down. So your body doesn't have to do that. A lot of other collagen supplements on the market, especially the powders, they come in big tubs in Costco. Do you know why they're in such a big tub? You've got to eat a lot of it to get it into your bloodstream. And so your body has to break it down, which is very expensive, and not very much of it gets into your bloodstream. So here with our liquid collagen, we've broken it down so your body can absorb it. It's in liquid form. And another thing to understand is most collagen products on the market today have one type of collagen. Some have, very few have two. Ours has 10 types. Why is that important? Well, the different types benefit different parts of the body. Type 1 is great for skin and nails. Type 2 is great for joints, and so on. So we have 10 different types because our collagen's all throughout our body. So we need those different types to help the health benefits of all throughout the body. So, people, I was asked the other day, they said, hey, they showed a competitor's collagen. It's very successful, by the way. It was one of the first ones on the market. They're like, well, what's the difference? Well, first I explained about activation. They don't have an activator. Okay. All they're doing is replenishing it. Second of all, they only have one type of collagen. It's just the type that's good for skin. They don't have other types that are good for joints and other things in the body. And so, that was two things off the bat. I said, so you can buy that one, but they also sell another one that's for joints, and another one's for this, and another one's for that. So you got to buy 10 different types of collagen from this company. They don't even sell all 10 types. They only sell 3. And so you're spending a lot more money. Plus, it's not hydrolyzed, not as effective. Plus, it doesn't activate. And put in the chat if you have seen the before and after pictures from our collagen. I think most of you have. And if you haven't, look for them. They're out there. They're all over social media. But they're amazing. Aren't they amazing? I bet you some of you already have some before and after pictures out there. I was part of the trial, and I was amazed. I had these lines here on my face and on my forehead that just disappeared in 30 days of being on the collagen. My sister is very skeptical, and I told her, I said, take a before picture, and then let's take a picture in a couple of weeks. And she noticed the visible lines of aging just disappearing off her face. I posted it today on Facebook. I'm blown away of how effective our collagen is. And it's because we have those 10 types. It's because we activate it in addition to replenish it, and we have ingredients to help you maintain. Those 3 things coming together in a superhero product like that is why it is so effective, and why people want to post their before and afters, and why they just blow you away. And I had a customer recently. She called me up. I didn't even know this person. She found me through Facebook or social media somewhere, and she said, Brian, she wanted to know about Protandim. I told her about that. And while I'm on the phone with her, she's placing her order online. And I said, hey, did you check out our collagen? She's like, why do you take a collagen? I said, well, you should probably check ours out. And I had her look at some before and after pictures. And she looked at the price tag, and she's like, why is it so expensive? I'm using air quotes if you can't see me. And I'm like, well, I'm not sure what expensive means. I'm not sure what you're paying for yours, but let me ask you this. Are you seeing any results with what you're taking? And she said, no, I haven't seen a thing. I said, well, how expensive is that? You're just wasting money on stuff you're not even seeing results from. And she's looking at the before and after pictures, and she's like, you're right. I've got to do this. And she added it to her cart while we're on the phone. So she was taking Protandim, and she was taking the collagen. And about 2 to 3 weeks later, I got a text, and I wish I had it up so I could read it for you. It's a very long text, but it started out like this. OMG. She said, I love this collagen. And I'm like, great. Did you take a before and after picture? Blah, blah, blah. Thinking that she saw results. And she's like, I haven't noticed much on the outside. It's what I'm feeling on the inside. And we kind of forget about that. Some of us look at it as a beauty product. And like I said, collagen is throughout our body and everything that bends. And she was feeling it on the inside and seeing just little transformation on the outside, at least after a couple of weeks. So it just goes to tell you how strong of a product that is. And right now it's our number 2 seller and behind Protandim, but I don't know. It might overtake Protandim. I don't know. But it's a little bit from a business perspective. you don't have a lot of science to explain, guys. You just show them before and after pictures. People, if they want to know the science behind it and how it works, they'll ask. But just show them the before and after pictures, and people will be curious. You'll pique their curiosity, and they'll want to know more. And you can send them a shopping cart, a pre-filled shopping cart to make a purchase. So that's a little bit just about my two. Well, I don't even know if they're my favorite, honestly. It's hard to pick a favorite, isn't it? There's so many good products. One of them that may surprise you is one of my favorites is Daily Wellness. I love it. I drink it every day. I mix it with Axio. I drink Axio every day, and that's one of my favorites too, right? So my secret formula, and I stole this from my wife, is I will take a scoop of the Daily Wellness, which is our immune support drink. Tastes amazing. But I'll put some purple grape Axio with it, and I'll do a scoop of the prebiotic, which has a blood orange flavor. Mix that all up. Blend in a blender or I got one of those little stir things you put in the cup and stir it up. Tastes amazing. Drink that every single day. And we got new products now, right? We just launched our AMPM, which is a micronutrient. What I learned about that is the activation process I talked about before with Protandim. It actually works better in your body with these micronutrients in your body. Your body requires those micronutrients for Protandim to be effective in the body. And they showed us the research. They showed how much more gene expression we had by taking the micronutrients with Protandim than just Protandim by itself. Blew me away. Along with our D3 product, vitamin D. So many people are taking vitamin D products, and so many people are taking multivitamins today. And so we have now something that they can replace it with, something much, much better. So I love the fact that we just keep coming out with new products. We got this whole set. I love the fact that that activation technology is transferable to so many different products. Hair care. Who thought? I wasn't even excited about skincare or hair care. No, not being a guy. I'm just telling you the truth. I wasn't excited about skincare, but then I saw the results. I said, oh, so what makes this work? I can put into a topical cream and I can apply it to my skin directly. Got it. And then the hair, like, okay, my scalp, I didn't realize the how dirty and toxic I don't even know what I use. Whatever the cheapest at the dollar store is what I put on my hair before, right? But now, I just use our hair care and I absolutely love it. My mom was just visiting for Christmas, and we always put our products in the guest bathroom. All the skincare, hair care is all in the bathroom. She comes out and she's like, I've got to order me that hair care. She's like, I am loving that stuff. So that was a great product placement by us, right? So now she's adding that in addition to all the stuff that she orders anyway. I'm going to talk a little about the business. Before I do that, I do want to tell you a quick story about my dad, because I read all the research in the beginning. I knew what these products did. I knew that it was irrefutable. But when I showed this to my dad, who was 80 years old at the time, by the way, and who was diabetic, who had open heart surgery, congestive heart failure, all these issues, I wouldn't even tell you how many pills he was taking every single day that his doctor prescribed for him. But I showed him this. I showed him Protandim to start off with, and he laughed. He laughed at me. He's like, this is snake oil. It's like, this stuff doesn't work. I can't even believe you're involved with this company. This is what my own father said to me. And it made me mad, made me angry, because I'm like, I read all the research. I know this works. And it didn't really shake my belief. It just showed me how closed-minded people can be. But here's what he said. He said, you know what? I'm going to take it for a year to prove to you it does nothing. And I said, all right, challenge accepted. Go ahead, prove me wrong. And he took it for an entire year. Well, it wasn't even a year. He called me up one day because we didn't talk about it again. He called me up and he says, hey, you still doing that pill thing? And I say, yeah, why? He's like, can I sell it? I'm like, yeah, why? I thought you thought it was snake oil. And he said, I'm telling everybody about this. I said, well, all right, back up. Tell me what happened. He said, well, first of all, people were walking up to him and saying, what are you taking? And he's like, what do you mean? They're like, we know you're taking something because, and he's like, why? He's like, well, first of all, you have more energy. You are much more active. You're out of the house more than usual. And you're not the grumpy old man that you used to be. You're in a great mood. And so that's his first experience, because people noticed it in him before he noticed it in himself. And then fast forward over the years. So over the course of a year, and he sees a doctor like once a week with everything he's got going on, once a week. So they're constantly running tests. And the doctors are like, your tests are getting better. Your blood work's getting better. This is improving. And so over the course of a year, he became my biggest fan, because he saw that it was working. It was doing a lot. And he just turned 90. We just celebrated his 90th birthday a couple of weeks ago. We flew him down to Florida, and he will tell you today, he doesn't even know the name of the product. He doesn't even call it Protandim because he can't remember that. He calls them Brian's pills. He's like, I'm alive today because of Brian's pills. And so it's a great story. And it really, in the beginning, that really elevated my belief. My belief was already high in the product, but man, if I can take someone who calls it snake oil and laughs in my face about it, someone I care about, and they have that type of experience, my belief went through the roof. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit and just talk about the business side, because again, I wasn't even interested in business. I didn't even know how we got paid. I thought we bought these for $40 and we sold them for $50 and we made $10 profit. And that was it. That's all I knew. I had no idea about leveraged income. That was a new concept for me. I always knew you do this, you get paid that. You put in the time, you got paid per hour. If you want to make more money, you got to work longer hours. Okay. That's what most people think. That's what their options are. They don't understand leverage. And leverage is about doing the work once, but getting paid over and over again. Because when people, and listen very carefully, I say this in every opportunity meeting that I do. When people truly understand what these products do, they will take them every day the rest of their life. And our job as consultants is to educate people so they understand what they do. And this is a commitment. It's not like, I ate a salad today, but I don't have 6-pack abs yet. Okay. I went to the gym, but I don't have 30-inch biceps yet. So it's a commitment. It's the constant, it's the consistent repetitive behavior of taking these products every single day that yield the bigger result, as the more you use them. So that's been our challenge, right? As distributors. So sometimes people will take them and say, well, I took it for a month. I didn't feel anything. Okay. They need to understand how this works, and they need to understand the power of it. And the science already proves this over and over again, but this is a commitment to their health. Just like eating healthy is a commitment, just like going to the gym, or exercising is a commitment for your health. You can't just do it once and expect immediate results with that. So leverage, that's what gives you leverage. When they understand and go on, they become a customer for life. We're still getting paid on the customers we signed up 11 years ago. Still getting paid today, 11 years later, every single month, because they're consistent with that. That's the power of leverage. And so when you get enough customers, you get enough consultants, now we're called, right? That leverage grows. And then that's what affords you options. So when my wife was working, we had already spent about 3 years building this business. And my wife gets this phone call from her boss, 7:30 on Monday morning. And we're like, why is he calling at 7:30 in the morning? And she answered the phone and she's like, what's up? And he said, well, Holly, there's no easy way to tell you this, but today's your last day. She was let go then and there, having the best review at work she's ever had, making the most money she's ever made. And she was let go from her job with no notice, right? And then about a year later, I get a similar phone call from my boss. So here is a 2 six-figure household, two income household, 6 figures each, gone within a year's time. But the good part of the story is we didn't have to go out and look for work. We had already dug the well before we were thirsty. We built this up to the point that it gave us options. We could continue working if we wanted to, but we didn't want to do that. We weren't in jobs that we loved. And so we've been doing this full time ever since that. That's the power of leverage. Also the power of leverage. I got to go and watch my son. They did a fun run at school today. He's in kindergarten. So I didn't have to call off work. I didn't have to get my boss's permission. We just went. We went to the school. We watched them run. And I'm looking there's not a lot of parents there. It's kind of sad. Not a lot of parents that can be there. They'd rather be there at school watching their kid running a fundraiser, they call it the fun run. But they couldn't be there. And so that was the gift that LifeVantage had given. I love the fact that we have enhanced our compensation, that this is coming effect on March 1st. And at first, when I saw this, I had a little bit of anxiety. I'm like, ooh, what's happening? Because usually when a network marketing company changes the comp plan, it's because the owner wants a new boat or maybe wants a Ferrari or something, right? So he wants to squeeze some money out of the distributors to go do that. Well, we're a publicly traded company, and we didn't need to. Our company makes a profit every quarter. So we weren't in bad place financially. We have no debt as a company, by the way. And so our CEO said, you know what? We need to make a bold change. We need to get off this 200 million a year plateau. We need to, like I said, $2 billion, right? $2 billion. And this I think is going to really help us project there. And if you're ready for it, you're going to benefit from it the most. If it scares you, that's natural. It scared me in the beginning, but then I saw the vision. I saw the potential. There's going to be so many people. You know what? I went to a meeting in Orlando here. Tyler Daniels was there. Tara Wilson came and talked. And there was the 40 people registered for that meeting. 90 showed up. And I saw people I haven't seen for years. Do you think they're excited about something? Yeah. And it's this new compensation model. And this is what's cool. I'll tell you what I love the most about it. There's several things I like about it, but I'll tell you what I like the most. So in today's model, you get paid 30 to 40% upfront for a customer. You enroll a customer, and we love talking about products, right? Business builders, a lot of people weren't comfortable talking about, but customers, they love the products. They didn't mind talking about the product. That's most of us in general. That's what we do. And so when you enroll a customer, you got a 30, 40% commission up front. And then the next month it was like 2 to 9%. Didn't excite me. Okay. I was excited the first month I enrolled them. I got a decent commission from that. But then the next month I can't even buy a cup of coffee from what they ordered. And so this new compensation plan pays you the same commission every single month that they are a customer. So we get that retail profit, and then we get a sales bonus on top of that. And so that it could be more than 30%. It really could. If you're maximizing the comp plan, it could be 30% every single month. And I love saying this, you'll learn this word, into perpetuity. And I stole that word from Kevin Harrington. Was it Kevin? Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank, right? When he makes a deal with somebody, he always throws that in there. He's like, I want a piece of that in perpetuity, meaning everyone you sell for every month in the future, I'm going to get a piece of that. And that's what we have here now. As long as you have that customer, you're getting a piece of that every single month. And it's not a small piece like it was before. It's the same every single month, and it could be as much as 30%. And that's cool. That's cool. So people who like enrolling customers, you are going to make out with this compensation model if you enroll a lot of customers in that. That's one of the things. The other thing I liked was the leadership match in there is now, because I'll tell you why I liked it. I've got a leg where I've got about 8 people doing nothing, and then I've got 8 people doing a lot underneath them. But with our matching bonus, the way it currently works, I'd only get paid on those first 5 that are doing nothing. But now it's looking deep for the leaders and getting us a match on those folks as well, which is really, really cool. So we got 14 ranks now instead of 10. And what they did is they took those rungs on the ladder and they shortened them. Before we had some big jumps we had to make, and that was very discouraging for people. They may have worked really hard to get to a spot and say, and then they think, oh my gosh, the next one I have to do 2.5 times what I did before. And it seemed insurmountable. People did it in spite of people doing it anyway. Some people that held them back. And now we are shortening the rungs on the ladder where they can see that next step. And not only that, we're going to pay them for it. You should see increases in your pay for every rank advancement you do. You didn't always see that before. Now, our current comp plan is not bad. It's not. It's one of the best out there. And I've looked at a lot of compensation models from a lot of different companies, and ours always won out. But if we want to take this to the next level, I think this is what is needed, because our current comp plan is not incentivizing the right behaviors. Now you're going to get paid for doing the right behaviors, and customers are king. If you can gather customers, a lot of them, they're going to upgrade to be a distributor someday, because you're going to find a lot of them are going to be posting their before and after pics. They're going to be calling their friends and showing them this anyway. They might as well get paid for it. They're going to share it because they're going to have results. They're going to love our products. We do, right? We love our products. We love sharing them, and that's what our customers are going to do well. So we got to keep reminding them they can get paid for this. If you're going to share it, get paid for it. You can upgrade to be a consultant and participate in our compensation plan. So that's just a glimpse about what I like with our current compensation plan. There's so many other aspects to it. I was just putting together a training for my team on the compensation. I think, like I said, I joined this company without even understanding compensation. So let's not overcomplicate the compensation model when we talk to new people. Okay. I think all we have to explain is the retail bonus, the sales bonus, and maybe the level bonus. That's it, because it's going to be a while before they can earn the other things and unlock those portions of the comp plan. So let's keep it simple. And I think that's what we got to do. And I think this was, if I could say I made a mistake, that was my mistake, is I overcomplicated everything. I overcomplicated the product. I overcomplicated the compensation. My opportunity meetings in the beginning were an hour and a half long. Now they're 20 minutes. Okay. I just did one today. It was 19 minutes flat. And I covered NERF2, I covered collagen, and I covered a compensation plan and all the other great things about LifeVantage. So I'm telling you guys, this is going to be a legacy company. I think we're going to hit that $1 billion mark someday. And those that participate now and really perform some activities now are going to benefit the most. But if I could offer one piece of advice, especially for the new person, is just set a minimum for yourself. Maybe that's just talking to one person a day or one person even a week, but set a minimum. As long as you're doing something to propel your business forward. And I like to say every day. Some people, may not work on Sunday, and that's okay. Pick the days that you want to work. And even if you just put 15, 20 minutes of effort into every single day, you'll be surprised at how much progress you can make. Now, if you want to run fast, run faster than that. But if you're just starting out, or if you've been in a while, maybe you're stuck, just pick that minimum and just work a little bit each day and keep it simple. Because don't miss out. I had a huge fear of missing out. That's why I said yes to this business. And I don't want any of you to miss out on what's to come with LifeVantage. Please, please, I don't want you to miss out. I don't want you to have regrets later on. I don't want you to see people that come in LifeVantage brand new and just take off with this without you being there. And so we're here to help you. I love our culture. I love the fact that everybody wants to help everybody and see each other succeed. That culture doesn't exist anywhere else. I have enrolled some network marketers from other companies. That is the number one thing they tell me. They're like, your culture is like no other. It's unbelievable. And so we got something special here. And I'm really excited. I'm telling you, I've been 11 years, and something's brewing, something's in the water. You're seeing it. I'm seeing it every meetings that's happening out there right now. People I haven't seen for years are calling out of the woodwork because something really big is going to happen, and it starts this year. So that's it, guys. Debbie, I don't know if I'm turning it back over to you or to Kai, but
I'm here.
I'm so honored that you had me invited me here to be here and share a little bit with your team. That's awesome.